next in the assignment is that if a contact book is printed to screen, it should show the contacts in alphabetical order, so alphabetical by name. So first Alice, Bob, and then Carol. The order in which the contacts are added should have no effect on this representation. Okay, so let's go to startup. I already created a new contact book, and in this contact book I create three new contacts, Alice, Bob, and Carol. And then when I print out this contact book, I should see all three of them in alphabetical order. What do I see now is just this weird notation of Java, and this means, or this should remind you, that if you want to have a decent representation as a string, you should implement the toString method. So that's what we're going to do. Public string toString, and I want to return an actual string. Let's call it result. It starts out empty, but in the end, that's what I want to return. What should be in this string? Well, all my contacts. And what's my contact book? My contact book contains a map of contacts, which is a mapping from names to actual contacts. So the only thing I'm interested in is the values. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a for loop which iterates over every contact in contacts.value. For every contact I'm touching in this way through my loop, I'm going to add the contact to the string, and I'm also going to add a new line. So let's run the code again. And what do we see is we get Bob, Alice, and Carol. So we get all our contacts. They're printed the way we want them to be printed, but the problem is they're not in alphabetical order. The reason is because I'm using a map, and a map has no order inside. So there's only one way, or there's only one data collection which we know for which we can use order, and that's a list. So at some point we will need a list of contacts. Ordered contacts. And let's say it's an array list. So what we're going to do is we're going to iterate over all the ordered contacts, and that would be it. So let's run this code again, and now we will see nothing. Why? Of course, because the ordered contacts is just an empty array list. Which elements do I want them want to be in there? Well, I want to be all the values. Contacts.values. Run again. Again, we have Bob, Alice, and Carol. So this seems like a lot of work for nothing, but the problem is this one was not yet sorted. So collections.sort the ordered contacts. But this is not allowed because contacts are not yet comparable. So that's the only thing that's left in my implementation. Implements comparable. For that I need one method to be implemented, that's the compare to methods. I don't like the O, I prefer other. And I want them to be compared by name, so let's take my own name and compare my name to the other's person name, or other contact's name. Run the code again. Alice, Bob, and Carol. So what did I do? Instead of iterating over all the values of my map, which are by default unordered, you don't have any order in a map, I put them into a list first. So I create a new array list based on all the values, and then I sort this collection. Watch out, just sorting a collection only works if there exists a natural order for contacts, which is the case in our situation, because by default contacts will be sorted by name. If you want to implement this contact class needs to implement the comparable interface. If your class implements the comparable interface, this means it has to implement the compare to method. And that's exactly what we did.